My name is Roshan Mahade.
I'm Olivia White, and I'm a sophomore.
Aaron Thomas, and I'm a junior.
I follow Hinduism.
I am atheist, but the majority of my family is Christian.
My family is agnostic, so what that is basically we don't have like a proclaimed religion that we follow or like a church we go to. It's kind of close to atheism, but not really, because I don't 100% believe that there is no God or that evolution was like how humans came to be.
I define culture as like being able to learn about your past, but also like the things that have influenced the people around you as well.
I define culture as what brings you together with your community and what makes you unique and what festivities or practices that you perform.
I mainly participate in regular American culture. I don't really have any like cultures from my ancestors or extended family that I still follow today.
The prayers we do, they're done all around Hinduism, so I mean, they've been dating back to hundreds and thousands of years. So
we celebrate a lot of Christian holidays such as Christmas and Easter, but I personally just choose not to partake in the religious services like the church ceremonies and whatnot.
I feel like just the practice of spending time with my family brings me closer to my roots, and I spend a lot of time with my grandma, who tells me a lot about like my Middle Eastern and Italian ancestors, and like we even have family that in Italy that we're going to go visit next year. I think culture is the practices that people in a certain society follow that are more stuff that they decide to do and defines who they are.
I think to some extent it does for everyone, but for me, since I don't believe in the God, it doesn't really help me bring me closer to my ancestors, because most of my ancestors were Christian and they followed that very closely, and I just decided that that's not something I want in my life.
Yeah, I believe religion does play a big role. A difference between cultural practice and like religious practice. So like religious practice would be like the actual the prayers that you would do and like the actual learning of the religion, but the cultures would be just the grand festivities that we would have.
I believe that religion plays a very large role in the cultural process. I think especially in past years and past centuries, cultures have been defined by the religion that the majority of people in them follow. But I do also think that in recent years, religion has played less of a role in governments and cultures throughout the world.
I think that is possible, but I think these days with a lot of people who don't follow a religion anymore, they're not necessarily taking information from their ancestors because their ancestors were so involved in Christianity, and people are becoming less involved.
I think religion and culture affect each other and influence each other, but also you can have a perfectly fine running culture without any established religion, and you can have an established religion that doesn't affect the cultural practices of its followers.
I don't think so. I think that there's plenty of cultural ceremonies and stuff that you can participate in without having to participate in the religious ceremonies. You don't have to pray to a god or believe in a higher power, and you can still be culturally aware. I think that it can, but I also think that there's plenty of people who can participate in cultural practices without practicing their religion or without attending religious ceremonies.
I believe it is, just because without religion I wouldn't be able to connect with my culture and know about my past and how it's all started. I think it's shaped me a lot. It's given me the beliefs and ethics that I have today, and it's shaped my daily life in a way.
I think yes, but I also think that there's some blending between the two. There's practices or festivities that can occur that are cultural and then have a religious aspect to them, but if you don't necessarily want to participate in that part, you can do the non-religious portion of it.
Life in general, I think religion can play a very large part in people's cultures in their life, because many people spend a lot of time practicing and focusing on their religion.